Shalakia Chakshurumilitamina Tasmai Shri Guruve Nama Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Madhusudnaya Bapuji Iti Namine Namaste Madhusudnaya Bhaktipad Priyayate Durlabha Krishna Bhakti Ati Saralakarine. Hare Krishna. Today we are reading 4.6 and yesterday we did 4.4 and 4.5. Yesterday, as we were reading that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he remembers all of the times he manifested. But we do not remember all of our previous births. So yesterday Krishna told Arjuna that many births you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot. Right? So Krishna knows our transcendental form, and he is giving us this opportunity to come back. And today in 4.6, Krishna is saying that although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. So over here, Krishna, over here, you'll see that he is giving this transcendental knowledge. That's why this chapter is called Transcendental Knowledge. Krishna is revealing his form. In the beginning, he was first trying to motivate Arjuna. He was trying to explain his symptoms, understanding why don't you want to fight? Why don't you want to perform your duty? And then he gets into explanation of Karma Yoga in the third chapter. And this in fourth chapter, Krishna is revealing everything about himself. And Krishna over here is describing that although I am unborn, who is unborn? Krishna. So to us, actually, this concept is very hard to imagine that because all of us are born, we take birth in this body, we die. But Krishna actually is unborn. That Supreme Personality of Godhead in Golokdam. And when he manifests on this planet also, right? Krishna is describing that he is unborn. He does not need to take birth from a mother like how we do. But Krishna does it because he follows all of the same rules for a human being. And when Krishna manifests in the human form, everyone starts thinking that Krishna also is human. Otherwise, show me where Indradev has taken birth as a human, or show me where Brahma has come down as a human, where Lord Shiva has come down as a human. Right? So people get confused just because they associate Krishna, who manifested on this planet 5,000 years ago, as a normal person. Everybody gets confused. Oh, we have two hands. Krishna also has two hands. In the Bhagavad Gita also you see, right? We have two eyes. Krishna has two eyes. We have one nose. Krishna has one nose. We have 10 fingers. Krishna also has 10 fingers. We have two legs. Krishna also has two legs. Right? We have two hands. Krishna also has two hands. But Krishna is unborn over here. Krishna, you will know that there are so many other millions and billions of universes. And on every planet, everyone may have some different looks. Someone may have 10 hands, someone may have 10 legs, someone may have, 10 faces. All of these different forms are there. But Krishna describes that in in this two-handed form, that is this original form as it is in that Golok Vrindavan, in that supreme abode of Krishna. So over here, Krishna is describing that he is unborn. He has been there since time immemorial, and we also have been there since the beginning of time. And his transcendental body, so he is differentiating between the body that he is has on this planet, right? When he manifested on this earth, and his transcendental body. His transcendental body never deteriorates. And so what? We all also have a transcendental body, right? That soul never deteriorates. And Krishna is describing over here for the first time, he's saying, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, no one else has declared that anywhere. And how does he appear? By his internal energy, his internal potency. Who is that? That internal potency, right? He has the whole potency to do anything and everything. Once someone asked the question, can Krishna create a rock so heavy that even he cannot even lift it? And to that, right, Krishna said, yes, it is possible. And then the devotee said, okay, let me see it. Then Krishna made a huge, huge, big rock, even bigger than Mount Sumeru. And then the devotee said, okay, Krishna, now try and lift this. And Krishna tried, and then although it was so heavy, in the beginning we felt as if Krishna cannot lift it. But his arms got bigger, he got more power, he got his internal strength got stronger, and he was able to lift that up. The devotee said, Krishna, now I understand that even though we all think that you can create something which is very heavy and that even you cannot lift up, but then you will get that energy to lift it up because you are supreme personality. So you can do anything. It is not like us, we can only lift 10 pounds or 20 pounds or 50 pounds or 100-pound rock, anything like that. And with his internal energy, Krishna can do anything. And through that internal energy, I still appear. Krishna appears in every millennium. When is that? That is every 1,000 yoga cycles. We were just discussing. So Krishna, he manifests every 1,000 yoga cycles in the one day of Brahma. So you will ask the question that why is Krishna appearing? Right? Why is he appearing in this? And over here, this is one of the main shlokas of the Bhagavad Gita. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam sarajami aham. That whenever and wherever there's a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. So Krishna himself, he descends in every millennium whenever there's a decline in religious practices. So over here, Krishna is manifesting why? To restore the religious practices. And you will say, oh, this was the Dwapar Yuga. It's much worse in the Kali Yuga. So why hasn't Krishna descended yet? Everywhere we see there is something bad that is happening, right? There's so much irreligion. There are so many people drinking everywhere, eating meat, right? There's so many challenges with wars going on. Why hasn't Krishna descended yet? So over here, Krishna actually, in every yuga, Krishna actually descends in a different form. He has an expansion that manifests in the planet. But that irreligion, right? That decline of religious practice. Today you will see that there's still a fair amount of religious practice. People are still afraid. A good amount of people are still afraid of their karma. Right? So they always try and do the right thing. But it is going to become so bad where people don't even do the right thing. And for this yuga, the yuga avatar, right, is the Kalki avatar who will come at the end of the Kali Yuga. that is already described in the Bhagavatam. Today we feel we are going through so much pressure, so much stress, so much negativity everywhere, and there's no religious practice, there is no one doing anything. But the Kali Yuga is going to get even worse from here on out. Srila Prabhupada described that the next 10,000 years are still the golden years for the Hari Sankirtan, for the Hare Krishna movement, for the chanting, for the religious practices. But after that, there is no guarantee after 10,000 years. Because Kali Yuga is still a baby. We think that Kali Yuga, this is already so bad, everything that is happening around us today, all of that is so bad, but imagine it's going to be 1,000 times more worse. So yada yada hi dharma said that whenever there is a decline in religious practice, and just understand this, that in every yuga, there is actually a yuga avatar that comes. Right, in Satyuga it was Narayan. In Dwapar of this yuga cycle, it was Krishna. In Treta, it was Lord Ram. Right, and then in the Kali Yuga, it is the Kalki avatar for this yuga cycle. And we get the opportunity to worship those expansions of Krishna in those avatars, whether it's Narayan, whether it's Lord Ram, whether it is Kalki avatar, right, or any other avatars, Lord Narsingadev, the Matsya avatar, right, any other avatar, we get an opportunity because they manifest as the Yuga avatar for that Yuga. But it is only in this Kali Yuga that we learn about Krishna, because it has happened right after when Krishna has descended. So the knowledge of Krishna, the knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita is still there. Because just imagine if this Yuga gets over and then the next Yuga starts and all of this irreligious has happened, right? The knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita may get lost again. So who will bring it to the human beings? In the Brahma Samhita, the Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami, that Lord Brahma has written, that actually had gotten lost. They only found one chapter of it somewhere. So this whole knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita and the Bhagavatam which we have today, we don't know how many future generations may have it in the Kali Yuga or in the Satyuga, next Satyuga after that. So we should take a lot of advantage of this. That this knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita we are getting in this lifetime. And let's say if we take another, we get another birth also. But if that time there's no Bhagavad Gita, there is no knowledge about Krishna, then what will we do? Right? At that time, and let's say even if we are spiritual at that time, we will be worshipping the Yuga avatar of that Yuga. And that will be an expansion of Krishna. Nothing wrong in that. But with that, you go back to the Vaikuntha abodes. But over here, and even if you go back to Vaikuntha, you won't take birth again. We won't take birth again from there. But the topmost abode of that spiritual universe is that Golok Dham, where you reside with Krishna and participate in all of his eternal pastimes. So let us take advantage of this auspicious knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita we have received in this lifetime, because we don't know in future lifetimes how much more it will exist. So whenever there is a decline in religious practices, so don't think that if somebody did bad to me, or if somebody has hurt me, somebody's not treating me well for years and years, and all of these things, that is a decline in the religious practice, that what is going on. No, that is just we are suffering for our previous karmas. Right? But the irreligious practice is when it happens at a global level, where literally people are eating each other, people are killing each other for food, right? People are just stealing, people are just doing things with their kids and so on, like all of these things that happen. And then irreligion becomes more prevalent, it becomes greater than the religion. At that time, Krishna himself descends. So it had gotten so bad during the time of the Mahabharata, right, to where the kingdom was being stolen or not being given to the rightful heirs of the kingdom. It was not being given to the Pandavas, right? And along that the line of there was so much irreligion with what was happening to Draupadi, right? How they became sides, like how you have sides in the war, like now with the Israel, Iran, and how many countries, whole list of countries that support Israel, whole list of countries that support Iran, and so on. Back then, there were other smaller kingdoms that took the same sides, and it was the whole religion started even before Krishna had manifested. In the Bhagavatam, it is written that the the earth, Mother Earth, actually assumed the form of a cow and went to Lord Brahma, then to Lord Shiva, and then to Lord Vishnu, praying that I cannot take all of this suffering anymore on myself. So Krishna said, I will manifest, right? And who manifests? That supreme personality of Godhead, who we consider to be a regular human being. How is that possible? When clearly in the previous sloka, Krishna is saying, right, that I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates. And I appear in every millennium. So in every 4 or 5 million years, Krishna transcends, or 4 or 5 billion years, Krishna appears in his original form as Lord Krishna. Let us take advantage of this opportunity in this lifetime and make this our last. So with that, we'll end, and before we end, we'll chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra Bihari Lal Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai